Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And as always, we have what I believe is the best investor in Fresno, California, a leader among leaders, someone I look up to and follow. Then you should too, Mr. Jason Pritchard. How you doing, young man?
I am doing great. Zuber, how are you?
I'm doing well. So the wife and you just came back from a little impromptu trip to Mexico, huh? How was that?
It's always nice, man. Yeah, we like to, my life always runs in like sprints and then we take these little breaks, right? So we do like a 30 or 45-day sprint and then I like to go blow some steam off. So it was nice. We got to go with a couple other couples and just hang out and have a good time and soak up some sun, man.
I love it. I follow you on Instagram, both you and your wife. It's amazing. Truly enjoy life, leading life by example. So I appreciate you. What we're going to do here is we teased something that you have leveraged to raise millions of dollars called the credibility package.
Yeah.
Lots of people reached out to you, but I think more people need to see the power of this. It's actually in my course if people wanted it. But let's talk about the credibility package. And again, folks, you want this. If you are thinking about doing private money, you want the credibility package. You need to build it. So Jason, set it up and let's just see what is in your credibility package.
Yeah, let me go ahead and share that with you guys so you can see it. So here is my credibility packet. We've had a number of people that watch your show that have reached out since we started talking about this. Mm-hmm. If anybody is interested in getting a copy of this, my contact information is right here on the screen. Mm-hmm. You can just email me right there, or you can reach out to me on Instagram. My name's Jason Pritchard, and I will send you a copy of this so you can have it for yourself. This was a great tool for me, Zuber, and especially at the beginning when I was raising private money, because I lacked confidence in myself and I needed talking points. And I think for a lot of newer investors, the struggle that they have when they're raising money is they don't have the confidence to go out and actually talk about how they're going to structure everything. So this is a great resource to have to kind of set the foundation, give you specific talking points, and be able to speak confidently about what you're doing. So if we just roll straight to the beginning, this is 11 pages total. First page is our cover page. The second page is just a quick about me. It's about me, my background, what my
now. When was
does.
that picture taken? Come on.
This is 12 years ago. So yeah, we actually need to go update this. So this was back when I was wearing my suit and ties and all that stuff and trying to act more like an investor than I was. Yeah, it's funny, man.
Sorry.
But yeah, so it'll give a brief about you, and then a little bit about what we do as a company, what our business model is about and how that works. And then we get into kind of the meat and potatoes. And this is an actual deal that we've done, right? And so this is exactly when I send my due diligence to my private lenders, this is exactly one of the documents that they look at, right? So they get to see what we purchased the project for, what our projected rehab number is, their projected return on their investment, all of that good stuff. And then I backed it up with the actual financials. So this is just our projected return. And this is how that particular project specifically played out. We've got a bunch of projects that we've done over the years so they can see, kind of a longer track record, and then some before and after photos so they can see what it looks like when we buy it and then what it looks like when it's all done.
Yeah. So for me, folks, everybody needs a credibility package, a brag deck, whatever it is. It needs, for me, it was not a PowerPoint or whatever this is. For me, it was a website.
Yeah.
But basically what you need to do is document your process, what you're learning, right? I created a website just to document what I was doing, not to raise money. And it was that activity before and after, rights and wrongs, errors and misses, wins. People started coming to me going, hey, I saw what you did. I always name my house. I saw what you did at the gumball house. I saw what you did at this house. You saw what you did at that house. Can I give you some money, basically? And that's what you need to do, right? So if you don't have a track record, I don't know what, like page 5, you got like, I don't know, 30 properties on that Excel sheet.
Yep.
You're not going to have that. And you may never have that.
Yep.
But what you can document is, for me, what is your buy box? Hey, I only look at 3 and 4 bedroom houses. I look at it every day. Here's an inventory is what here. Here are the 2 good deals. Here are the 2 bad deals. This is why it's good. This is why it's bad. Oh, by the way, here's my team. Like, if you don't have the track record, the before and afters, the deals like Matt's in here, document your team, right? Show them that you are serious. This isn't, oh, I want to do real estate, and oh, my brother's got some money, and oh, he's just going to trust me. No, make it a real thing, right? because again, it's not about one deal. I think anybody can raise private money once
Yep.
from a family member, but you ain't going to get it twice if you lose money and if you don't treat it right. What do you think?
That's correct. Yeah. I think you have to, so much of this conversation, it comes down to a mindset shift, right? And I think when you're going and you're raising private money, you can't go into that conversation thinking, oh my God, I need to borrow 200,000 or I need to get 200 or 300,000 from this lender. It's you're presenting an opportunity for them to get a return on a $200,000 investment that's backed by a piece of real estate. It's secured with a first position deed of trust. All the documentation and the paperwork is recorded by the title company. So everything's on the up and up. You have this third party handling the funds, handling the paperwork for it. And especially in the climate that we're seeing now, where there's so much volatility in the stock market and crypto and all these other asset classes, I've had more people reach out to me recently, and I actually have more people with money trying to give me money than I have viable deals, right? It's an interesting problem and an interesting place that we're at in our market right now. So I feel like if you, especially if you're new, if you can spend the time to put this together, and I'd be happy to walk you through kind of how we did it and how you can do all of that stuff for yourself. I think it puts you in a good space to project that confidence when you're having those conversations with those lenders.
Yeah. And I think in the course, you actually did a video 2 years ago, and this exact deck, maybe different examples, documenting how you used it. So that's good. The other thing I want you to highlight, folks, is when you're doing this the first time, what Jason rattled off there about using escrow for the money and first trust deeds, you have to understand the 3 or 4 big moving parts. The first one is you are going to record a note.
Correct.
Right. They are going to have a secured position. If you
That's correct. And this is, let's unpack this super, because I get a lot of people that reach out about that specific topic.
Yep.
And I actually think they make it more complicated than what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And I get so many people, it's like, well, what about the note? And what about the deed of trust? And how, and where do I get all this information? And if you're like me, we're running all of our transactions, 100% of our transactions through a title company, right?
Every time.
And part of their service that you're paying for is that they will handle all of this paperwork for you. So your job is to go develop the relationships. Your job is to go build trust and rapport with the lenders that are going to fund your deals. And then once you do it, I literally send maybe a 4-line email that says, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Escrow Officer, I'm going to be working with this private lender to fund this specific project. Here are the terms of our loan, and it's our total loan amount, the payment, if there is going to be a payment, if there's any origination fees, and the term, the length. And then that's it. It's literally a 4-liner, and they draft up everything for you. They set everything up for signatures. So you don't have to do any of that heavy lifting. So don't get caught up in the mechanics of where the note comes from and that type of stuff. Your job is to go talk to those lenders and start building those relationships so they can fund your projects.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I want you to understand secured position is important 2 ways. One is if you don't pay, they foreclose, right? They're basically secured against the asset. And 2, if they pass away, their interest doesn't disappear. That is now probate. It is an asset that is a part of their estate. And I've had a private lender, unfortunately, pass during an ownership, and it just passed to their son. And I started paying the son.
Yeah.
Right? So again, it's an asset. It's not like it goes to nothing.
Yep. Yeah. And I get a lot of lenders initially that have asked me, well, what happens if you don't perform, or God forbid, like, you died in a car accident or something crazy happened, right? Mm-hmm. I think as long as you're purchasing the property, right, and this is up to you as the investor, you have to be buying in order to add that security, like that safety net, so those lenders feel comfortable. You have to be buying at a substantial discount. The type of lending that I don't do anyways, you don't get the security for the lender if you're not buying for 50, 60, 70 cents on the dollar, because God forbid something happens to you, they do get to take over the property, but there may still be some work that's involved, right? And so there's got to be some room in those numbers for them to go in and maybe finish that project. Or even if you finished it, they've gotten that project now where you can sell it, so they can turn around and offload it and make their money back. So there's a lot of security, different ways that you look at it.
Yeah. One thing I've always believed is I want every private lender, the day we sign the note, so before the first payment, I want every person who loans me money to hope I don't pay. Right. I want every deal I've ever done. I want them, like, you would be better off if I never paid you. Right. You're going to make more money that way. So those are the only deals I would do. Basically, I want them to have the ultimate security, because again, for me, it's about just momentum and leverage and recycling, right? I want to go back and borrow that same $100,000 10 times. That's $1 million bucks. used on 10 deals.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, that's
yeah. The faster you can turn that money over, I think the better it is for everybody. Right. And so for me, one of the things that I do, I don't like putting prepayment penalties in there, because what I tell my lenders is I don't want to be punished for performing well. Right. You should want me to pay you off as fast as you can, because my goal is to turn that money not every 6 months, but every 3 to 4 months. Because if I can turn it over 3 or 4 times in a year versus twice in a year, you're going to get that additional origination fee if that's in there, or we'll just keep your money working and turning it over faster. So yeah, that's definitely a good way to look at it.
Yeah. I mean, for 2010, it was a different environment, but Olivia and I had about 50, maybe it ballooned to 60 grand of our own money. That same 50 or 60 grand was recycled, I don't know, 15 or 18 times, just buying dumpy stuff. Just keep moving it. So just keep moving and grooving. Always take care of your lenders. Never let a lender lose money, ever, 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 ever. If you got to write a check out of your own pocket, write that check. Private investors will never lose with me, as I know with you.
100%. Yeah.
Any other kind of closing thoughts on this? How would you build this again if you were starting from scratch, maybe?
So my wife, Jennifer, actually built this for me out on Canva. So this is a PDF document. And so there is a number of different ways. Honestly, what I would do if this was me, and I don't have experience with graphic editing or Canva, I would take this format. I would just on your own Word document or whatever, put the content together, and I would hire a virtual assistant off Fiverr and pay them 30 or 40 or 50 bucks and say, hey, I want to create the same thing. Here's my picture. Here are the graphics that I want to use. Here's the numbers, all of that stuff, and do it. And you're done. I think that would be the fastest and the easiest way to kind of get this done. And if anybody has any questions about that, or you want to dig in more, you can always reach out to me directly. We had a pretty overwhelming response. It was pretty incredible how many people saw the first video that we did and reached out, and we put this in the hands of a lot of viewers.
I think you need to become a national trusted resource, right? You are the man in Fresno and earn the #1 status. My goal is to make you a national resource. So folks, one more time.
Working on it, man. Yep.
Every day or every other Sunday.
Yep. Day by day, brick by brick, man. That's right. Yep.
What is the Instagram page so people follow you and reach out that way to get their copy?
Just my first and last name, Jason Pritchard. If you go on Instagram, you send me a DM, or Jason Pritchard on Facebook. Just give me some time to get back to you. And like I said, if you're interested in getting a copy of this, just shoot me your email and we will get it sent over ASAP.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.